Yo, boys, back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about Rogue. Right now, all I do, I have some content for you guys right here, and this is me on my Evoker. I'm like 1980 on him. I went from like 1700 to 2K about in like 2 games, pretty much. But yeah, a lot of people have been talking, and I think we all know what's going to be happening. I think 99% of the people that have messaged me so far. Now, people that are wanting the people that are thinking these changes are going to be good, obviously that's what we're going to be talking about. So unless they for some reason buff overall damage on Rogue, like I'm talking about like a lot, like it need to be in like it need to be where tech has to kill you in 2 ticks. It's pretty much in order for Rogue to be any like without CC, you're just like with no blind saps, no more kidneys. I mean, there's obviously kidneys, but everyone's just gonna go orc. I mean, what's a 4 second kidney gonna do? By the time you hit your shadow dance, it's already gonna be 2 seconds, and then GG's. A 4 second kidney for your max stun is not going to do anything. It's just not. And on top of that, you're not able to blind sap. Basically sap's out of the game. Sap is irrelevant now, unless you get it in the opener, and everyone's usually a Resto Druid or something that can steal. So it's like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, for them, they just get the freest wins because all they have to do is trade on blind, and they can't be sapped, and they can't be CC'd ever again because every other CC in the game is nerfed. But yeah, pretty much. All rogue specs will die season 2. It will not be playable. It's gonna be definitely a dead class. You're definitely gonna have to re-rule. Now the problem is this also I'm pretty sure it nerfed stuns as well on like Feral Druid. So I feel like Feral Druid, like if Feral Druid keeps being the AoE spec it is, it'll be fine because it doesn't really need stuns to kill anything. It just AoEs people down. So unless they for some reason buff overall damage, like they give sub rogues actual burst damage to where they can actually 100-0 you in a stun, like on no RNG, none of that. Every time they click every button and you have no cooldowns, you die. Like unless it's back to where secret tech is two-shotting you on your burst as a sub rogue or as any rogue, you're just not gonna be able to do anything. So like they'd have to buff the overall damage on every rogue spec, or like just even if it's just one rogue spec, but yeah, the damage it would have to be extraordinary. It had to be so good to where it's like it had to be as good as it's ever been in order for you to actually win any games as rogue. Because CC is not gonna matter. Why would you play a rogue if you can't do any damage? All your sub rogue. The only reason sub rogue's doing good in solo shuffle right now is because of the CC you get. Kidneys, saps, blinds, gouge, shadowy duel. That's 5 CCs. That if you know how to use correctly in a solo shuffle, you just have your teammate kill the person, and then you can shadowy duel with them at low and then kill them. Now, if sap blind isn't a thing, or if you can't sap off your blinds, which is crucial, trust me, it is. Because if somebody holds your blind, then you can still have a backup. You still have sap. Now you won't have that. If they can hold your blind, you will never get another CC again. Or if they even if they trinket your blind, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Kidney them for 4 seconds for CC? By the time you kidney him and then you cheap out the other target, the kidney's gonna be gone. Trust me, 4 seconds is a big deal. It's you guys might I know a lot of people. It's like it's 2 seconds off. That is a life or death situation. I mean, a lot of people just don't understand that it really matters. It really does, and it matters. It matters way too much. That's why the rogue spec is just a lot of people don't play it. It's because you have to play really good in order to win. There's a reason nobody plays rogue, and if they're playing rogue right now, they're playing really good or they're hard stuck 1500 because they just die in the opener. So yeah, rogue will definitely die. It'll be a dead class. Not even just assassination, but sub rogue. Sub rogue will be no longer a thing. And then assassination. Imagine playing assassination. Now you get 4 second kidneys on assassination. You have no restuns, and your damage is already cut in half to where you're not doing any damage. So all you are useful for is a shiv, and that's it. That's all you're useful for is a shiv. That's the only reason that you'd want assassination rogue on your team is shiv. And even then, why would you want a assassination rogue when you can have a warrior or a warrior, a DK, or any other melee, or a feral druid? It's like there's certain points in time to where playing Rogue, it's like playing HPAL right now. If you're playing HPAL right now and you are not the best of the best, don't play it. Because it's a terrible spec. You just lose to everything. And if you don't play perfectly, even if you play perfectly, you still can lose easily. So, yeah, it's just it sucks because I think a lot of people, I think in general people actually like, even if you face a sub rogue, anytime you face a rogue, I feel like people have fun facing rogues. Obviously, it can be annoying, yeah, sure, but being able to outplay rogues and actually like seeing your outplays, like if you pre-wall a rogue's kidney or something. You when you do something like that, it's different than when you do it on another class. Maybe like if you do it up versus a Windwalker, because like you're gonna die, but like you know what I mean. So even people that don't play rogues are like, yo, this is a bit too far. Let's not the thing is, I don't know why they didn't just buff the healing, nerf the overall 2400, like nerf the 24/7 damage. Like nobody should be doing 50k a second. We only have 300k HP. 50k a second. Think about it. If you're doing normal 50k a second, like if you look at my evoker damage right here, I did 40k a second. And that's off burst. That's not even on burst. That's just me clicking two buttons. That's every class does that. If you know how to play your class, every single class in the game does that. You can do easy 50k a second. 50k a second is a lot of damage when you have 300k HP. 50k a second. Do the math. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. 5, 10, 15, 20. Now think. 50k a second is a lot of damage when you have 300k HP. Now, if they nerfed the overall damage to where you're only doing burst damage on your burst, I don't know why every class they're turning it into PvE to where you don't have to, like, you can use your burst incorrectly, you can miss everything and still be fine because you're doing burst damage 24/7. Now, obviously, there's some classes that don't do that. Like if you're talking about a Ret, like Rets really only do big damage on their wings, but that's designed to do that. Like if your class is designed to only do damage on burst, then you should be doing damage on burst. Like Sub Rogue, it was designed to do damage on burst, and then off of it, you're just a stun bot. The problem is Sub Rogue does not do any damage on its burst compared to other classes. So if they nerf the overall 24/7 burst, nobody should be even doing close to 20k a second. The max you should be doing is with no CDs at all, with zero cooldowns used, you should not be doing more than 20k a second. That's why CC is so incredibly. That's why it's called PvP, player versus player. It's not PvE. It's not a Mythic Plus. Like instead of giving everyone a micro CC, why don't you give the classes a CC? Like every class should have some type of CC that's more than 4 seconds. And instead they just give everyone a micro CC, like an incap or just some stupid micro CC. It's stupid. Every class should have some type of thing to CC. It's what makes the game good. Now, if they did that, they gave every class a CC. Nice. That's great. Obviously, you don't want to overdo it. So, like, definitely don't overdo it. Because obviously, we've seen what it looks like when you overdo it. But, first of all, I mean, all they had to do, this is with easy fixes. Like, this is like, these guys came out of nowhere and did this, and this is why the game's going downhill. Like, it was going, like, downhill already, but now it's like a landslide. Now we're going all the way down. Like, I don't even want to log on the game knowing that I'm not going to be able to play Rogue. And obviously, I'm a multi-classer, I play everything, but, like, I just get so bored knowing how like they're not doing anything to fix the game. Like they're doing next season fixes when right now they could be fixing stuff. They could be buffing healing. They could be nerfing overall damage. They could be nerfing the dampening spells like Shiv, like DK's MS, like Warrior's Mortal Strike. They could be they could be buffing healing. It's like it's not hard. It's not really not. Like stop doing micro buffs. Like I'm gonna give this healer 10% and it's gonna do something. Oh, and then we'll do another buff in 3 months. No, you don't. Like what are you doing? You're a multi-billion-dollar company. Let's not be lazy. There should be nerfs and buffs every week. Honestly, every single week. If they could do it every other day, like do it at a specific time and fix the game. Simple. Like something's wrong. There's obvious. Like they know it's wrong. Like when they buff a class by 10% and then it does nothing. When they buffed H-File 3 times in a row and there's a reason it's not doing any healing, I wonder why. Because you're doing micro buffs and they're being lazy. And they're just trying to do a bunch of buffs on a list and act like they're doing stuff. And instead they just do an hour's worth of buffs and then they just call it a month or 2 months or 3 months instead of sitting there and actually buffing the class. So if this is all in Blizzard, if their game falls, then that's their problem. Honestly, if the game does fall, I really don't care. Because obviously I don't really make money doing this that much. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, peace.